taken aback. This is a cliche, and so you should never say this.
This red isn't really our brand red. Like, it really annoys me.
Swiping up from the screen will bring up settings. Which screen?
It's very hard to read.
We need to work together on this.
So we've got N-Dial by Joe King, designed by Ali Fakhruddin. I think this is a dialer app, so let's see how they do it.
Well, the first thing I noticed is that this red isn't really our brand red. The red we use is a little bit darker and more muted.
But this is kind of neat. So as I start typing a number in, there's a little pop-up at top, and it's got all these kind of options. I quite like that, because I can just go, oh yeah, I know it starts with 5, and then hit it. And look at that, it comes right up.
It's a bit hard to hit the actual number, but also this add contact. Why is it there if there's nothing inputted yet? So I think this is a nice touch, but I think it would be better like if it would appear once you start typing.
Oh, okay. What does this button do? So I assume that's supposed to be like core history or something, and that's maybe not piped in yet, but that's a nice UX as well. I like the use of the different fonts here. I think there would be a temptation to overuse this kind of dot grid font, but I like this. It's looking fairly nice.
I do like the phone icon down here though. It is custom, so I can see that they're trying to match our dotted icon kind of style.
I kind of see the point why people might want this. When you look at this on the phone, I think it just completes the look, you know? It just like feels like a part of a brand experience.
Swiping up from the screen will bring up settings. Which screen? So as a person who writes a lot of copy, we need to work together on this.
I actually don't think that this app in particular feels like a lot of other contacts apps that I've used, which is mainly just the default Google contacts. The way that these cards are laid out and the big emphasis of the buttons at the bottom does kind of change things up a little bit. Next up, we've got Music by Missing Core, and it was designed by Alkid over on Discord. Okay, I can already see that we have the best and only song that's worth listening to preloaded on this phone.
This looks pretty similar, I'd say, to the Spotify interface. You've got the repeat button on the bottom right, and you can skip songs, and you can shuffle on, and they're in the kind of similar order. So that's quite familiar. I think people will be happy with that.
Yeah, like this screen, I like quite a lot. It's simple, right? You see the album artwork. Yeah, it's nice animation of the play spinning. I think it's cool.
This is a cliche, and so you should never say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's the surprise and delight. Everyone's used to clicking buttons and stuff happening, and so it becomes very ordinary. You become unthinking in your actions. And so when I tap on this and this little album kind of slides out on the side, I'm taken aback in a delightful way. I really like this.
I feel pretty strongly about this, but elements that you frequently interact with shouldn't live at the top of your screen. Like, it really annoys me when companies make their users do hand acrobatics to interact with things. So if this list could just be moved right by the bottom, that'd be lovely.
Okay, now we're on to a news app. So this is by Mirko DDD.
Oh wow, this is incredible. This is literally nothing news. It's just news for our own company.
Yeah, so my first impression is always related to typography, if it's easy to read or not. And I think here it's a bit hard. Yeah, maybe the headlines should be like a bit more prominent.
Carousel at the top, oh that's nice. Auto movement, that's very cool. Oh, and there's some movement down there as well. One of the things I've learned over the years is that the way humans have evolved is they're predators. The way our eyes work is that we have this strong vision straight ahead, and then we have like excellent peripheral vision. Any slight movement in the periphery of your vision, it sparks interests. People like myself know this and can use this information to create interesting experiences, because while you're staring straight ahead, I can tease a little something at the side, and then you immediately go and look.
This bottom list has a particular design to it, with the headline on the right and the image on the left. And then when I press See All News, we do jump into a totally different design of all of the cards on this list, and it might be quite a nice touch to make that a bit more consistent. I know that you're doing a decent job with getting a lot of information on this page, but that might be one thing to consider.
What I think could be improved is actually here at the bottom you have See All News. Just keep scrolling down, because it's quite natural behavior for many of us, and we kind of got used to it.
One of the favorite things I like about this app is the attention to detail they've shown. The community edition contest, the way they formatted it so then you can see all the entries is really cool. It's like a community app that is further highlighting like what our community is making. So that's really fun to see. Oh, a calendar. I love calendars.
By Russ Thing Plus. I think the calendar part of it looks great. The numbers and everything looks cool. The contrast where you see the label, like red label of Google on the middle gray background is just like, it's very hard to read.
So super straightforward, super simple so far. Classic kind of calendar pane at the top, the date, and then items underneath it.
I think the top part is great. The bottom part, when you create the events, I think like visually it can be still a bit optimized, like just to kind of lay it out a bit nicely.
One thing that catches my attention immediately is there's a circle in the corner. It's gray and it's got a n dot plus sign in it, but the plus sign isn't centered. Something that pops into my mind, does it integrate with your existing Google Calendar? That might be fun. Love the aesthetic, but also would love to hear the next steps.